Hey Lumberjack Joe, this is William Bowman. Thank you so much for allowing me to record this video for you. If you could just give me some feedback on how I can maybe make this easier to understand or easier for you to implement yourself, right? So what I want to cover is I want to cover some things about, how many people are searching for your services digitally in your area, and then what your competitors are doing right now on their sites in order to win that volume. So that way, if you do move forward with, creating your own site, you can start redirecting that traffic to yourself and basically using your site as as something that can be marketing for you. So what I want to cover real quick is, if I throw in El Paso Lumberjack Joe's, that's you. And when we're looking through it, I'll see yellow pages and things like that that are Business Bureau, Armed Forces do, right? So like, if I know you by name and I'm searching for you and then I find this and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Let me go to their website. We pop into their website. Right now, it looks like the website's not working, right? So I just wanted to bring your attention to that in case you did expect your website to be working. But I also found your website through Yelp or Yellow Pages or Angie's, and it's all the same there as well. So I just wanted to bring your attention to that first and foremost. The next thing that I want to talk about a little bit is, what happens when you throw in El Paso tree service, right? You throw in an El Paso tree service and, this is what we call a keyword. So a keyword is just simply something somebody would throw into Google in order to find your services. So if we throw in El Paso tree service, the first thing we're going to see is ads up here. I'm glad to see that you're not up here because a lot of people don't like to be advertised to, so they just scroll right past this. This next area, this is called the Google Map Pack. And this is pretty easy to set up. You just go to GMB or GoogleMyBusiness.com. You fill out information about your company and everything like that. You fill in your website, telephone number, and all that, and they give you a point on this map. And this is a really good source of customers. I noticed that you have, some good reviews on your site already, so this would be great for you. If you already have this, then what you can do is you can optimize it so that you end up in the top 3. So there is ways to do that. But what I want to spend my time on is what I noticed that you're not at, which is, this is called the organic search area. So the organic search area, this is just dependent on these keywords. So whatever you throw up here, you will see sites that show up in this list. And you can't pay to be at the top of this list. You basically have to optimize your site for certain keywords in order to end up here. So I want to show you what your top competitor is doing. So El Paso Tree Service, we pop in, we see their site. It's a pretty easy site. It has good amounts of content. This content, how much content they have on here, the words is really good. And the reason being is because it allows you to slip in more of these keywords. You want to repeat the keywords you're targeting 5 or 6 times on this page. You don't want to do it too much, because if you do it more than 5 or 6 times, Google understands you're trying to game the system, and then they tell you they don't give you good points for that. So instead, you want to repeat it like 5 or 6 times. And having pictures and things like that and an explanation of content of what you guys do and how you guys do it, that is great to put on there. Google considers content to be king. So you definitely want to put some good content. Just explain what you do. That way customers are informed as to what you offer and how you offer it and what your services entail. So instead of talking too much about their site, they have a decent site. What I want to do is I want to show you underneath the hood. So when we pop over to El Paso Trees, right? I'm going to pop over here. Let's grab this exact link. Let's throw this over here. Let's go to that URL. So what we're going to see here, this is El Paso Tree Removal. This is my analytical tool for looking on the back end. So I'm going to explain all of these figures because I know it seems like a lot. So you have the UR and the DR. So UR is your URL rating. It's like the trustworthiness of your location or your URL. And then the DR is your domain rating. It's like the power or the reputation of your site as a whole. So these two numbers are very important to raise as high as possible. So these are both from 0 to 100, and you want them as high as possible. It's actually surprising that for El Paso, they're so low, because I would have expected this DR to be much higher for that #1 ranking. And these are like key indicators that kind of show you how your site's doing in comparison to other sites. If I pull up, your site versus this site, we'll get an understanding of, why you're ranked where you are. So the way to raise these two numbers is through the use of what we call backlinks. And backlinks are pretty simple. It's just like, imagine if I'm writing a blog, and I'm saying, I'm writing about different tree services, and I say, you know what? If you're looking for El Paso tree service, you got to use Lumberjack Joe. He knows what he's doing. He came over from California. He's been in the industry for so long and he understands this. And I put a link to your site. That link is a example of a backlink. And that's actually a really good backlink to have from like a blog that gets good traffic in your industry. There's other types of backlinks you can get as well, like just putting your information on the yellow pages, like I noticed you already have. Whenever you do Lumberjack Joe's. So you already have it on the yellow pages. The only thing that you would need to do is whenever you get this set up, you would basically go in and you would add your website to this specific what we call citation or backlink, and boom, that's an easy backlink. It's not as high quality as a blog backlink, but it's still a backlink. I do recommend that you have a couple of those, but I like to focus on getting quality backlinks from like blogs and things like that, because that will help raise your DR, and the citations from like yellow pages and stuff like that will only really affect your UR, and you want both of these to kind of raise up together. But let's go take a look at the keywords that they're ranking for. So here we're going to have the keyword, the exact keyword that somebody threw into Google, and the volume, the average monthly searches that you have for that keyword, and then their position. So tree removal companies, 450. Now, I recommend not really shooting for ones like these where it says tree removal companies, because this is national. So if somebody in Chicago finds this, they're not going to really be able to use your services. Unless if you have a location there, of course. But then I recommend things like this. I know it's less volume, but this is what we call a buyer intent keyword, right? So tree removal El Paso, Texas. That's somebody who's in that area looking for tree removal right now. Those are the customers that you want. They don't know you by name yet. They have no idea which company they're going to use. You want anybody who searches this or this, tree removal El Paso. See? And it has different volumes. And these volumes start adding up to be quite a bit of lucrative volume digitally in your area. So that's what I mean by, those keywords that you want to, build into your site. That way you can get ranked for them. They're ranked 2 and 1. And you can beat out your competition by, increasing these numbers higher than them. And then you will start getting the traffic that they're getting at your site. And whenever somebody searches it, you will be number 1 instead of them. So that's kind of what the benefits of having a site, for this industry in your area. I looked at, what your site used to be, lumberjackjoes.com, just to kind of see what the UR and DR would have been, when your site was actually active. And it looks like the UR and DR, 5 and 0, I can understand why you weren't really getting results out of your site previously. Looks like the backlinks, when we pop into here, if we look through, these are just backlinks from directory sites. So like I was explaining, like yellow pages and stuff like that, easylocal.com, top rated local. So that's why your UR kind of moved a little bit, but your DR never moved. And, this would be very easy to fix for your site, or if you made another site, to basically, build these up to where you can actually rank for certain words. And the thing is that if you have 0 organic keywords, it doesn't matter what somebody throws into Google, they're never going to find you. So it's really important to put those keywords in there 5 or 6 times. That way, when you do build these numbers up and people do perform certain searches, you are actually there in the results. So that's my recommendation for you there, talking a little bit about, websites, what the benefits are, how to build those websites with good content to end up on Google search criteria. And then also, mentioning the optimization. It looks like you already have this Google Map pack with some good reviews, but definitely putting your website in here would be good, as well as any of these other sites that you have linked to your business that just kind of shows your services and explains what you do. But I hope this information was valuable to you. I hope that it gave you some things to think about. And if you need anything or have any questions, or if you would like to give me some feedback on what I can do better to make these videos more informative, feel free to give me a call or email me, because I'd love to hear that. But thank you so much for your time, Mr. Joe, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.